day 2. We just hit our arms. I mean, my arms are feeling good, man. They're really pumped. Let's go into the beginning. Triceps. What do we do?
Okay, well, first thing we did was we started with the flat bench on the Smith machine, close grip.
Yes.
And I really like this movement because it's controlled with the Smith machine. You know, that plane of motion is nice and controlled, and it allows you to actually load the bar up with a good amount of weight and not have to worry about balancing it. And sometimes your other muscle groups will take over. So I think you can really isolate and keep the weight on the tricep when you have it under controlled environment like the Smith machine.
I definitely agree. Smith machine is a great movement to isolate triceps. You don't have to worry about, like you said, imbalancing that bar and getting yourself hurt.
Right. Next movement we went into was the cable push down. This is just another movement that I think works out really well, and I like to just get a really good squeeze contraction at the bottom of the movement.
I agree. What's good about the tricep pushdowns, it hits that outer head of the tricep to get that horseshoe when you're doing it. We did it with the V-bar. You can use a rope. You can use a straight bar. You can use all different types of grips with that. Even an underhand grip a lot of times I like to use just for a different feel.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have a lot of versatility with that movement.
Good. And then we did the dips.
The next part,
with the machine.
The dip machine. I really like this movement a lot because this is another movement where you can really load a lot of weight on the bar and just put a maximum amount of weight on the muscle group we're trying to train, which is the triceps. For me, it's a really strong movement, so I like to really load it up. You know, fill up all the plates, even hang plates on the machine.
I can see that. You're really strong on that movement,
yeah,
man.
Just, hey, everybody has good movements and bad movements,
yeah.
And I think if you can do it, you've got to push your muscles to the max.
And in that movement, because it's a dip movement, it's also a power exercise, just like the close grip bench. It's really working the thickness of the tricep when you're doing that movement, inside head of the tricep as well. Make sure you lean back a little bit more to hit the triceps. The more you lean forward, you hit more the lower part of your pec.
Yeah, I think it's a really good mass building movement for the triceps.
And then we finished off.
Then we finish off with the FST7 movement.
Yeah.
Okay, and what we did was we went back to the cable and we're doing the rope push downs and just making sure we're getting a good squeeze and sweeping it outside the quads at the bottom of the movement. This is really good for just pumping a lot of blood in there, doing the 7 sets, 15 reps, only resting 30 seconds in between. I felt it. My arms were like so pumped doing that. I mean, because like you said, with the rope, you can really get a full contraction and really squeeze the triceps. And us going back and forth like that, my arms were just gorged with blood. Yeah, that's the whole point.
That was a great tricep workout.
Awesome.
Okay, Mark, we finish off with our arm training with bicep training. Let's recap that.
Okay, well, we started with the seated alternating dumbbell curls.
Okay.
I like this movement because you can start off with moderately lightweight and just kind of get a little bit of blood into the muscle group. You're pulling it out of the triceps and now into the biceps. So, just good warm up, and it's a pretty safe movement, nice and controlled, and it's a good way to start the movement.
I like doing the dumbbell curls as well. I mean, you can supinate and really squeeze the biceps, alternating back and forth. So I got a good feel.
Yeah, I definitely like it. I think once you get it good warmed up, then you can put a little bit heavier dumbbells on there and go after it for a little bit more weight.
And then we went to preachers.
And then the next movement was the preacher machine.
Mm-hmm.
You could either use the machine or you could use just a preacher bench with a preacher curl bar. Just whatever your gym works has. We did the machine today. This is a really good movement that you can put a good amount of weight on there and still really isolate the bicep, and it's all bicep. I mean, there's really no cheating with this movement, and it's really good peaking movement too.
I agree. One thing about preacher curls is your arms are in that, and there's no swinging of your arms. So what happens is it's just full contraction of the biceps, and you can definitely see your bicep peak a lot better doing that movement.
Yeah, you definitely have to just muscle the weight up with that one.
Good. And then we went to barbell.
And then the next movement was standing easy curl bar, and just another variation. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do. That's another one where you just basically can put some weight on there and just load the muscle with a good amount of weight, and get that good squeeze at the top of every rep.
And I agree with that. Easy curl bar, you can do it close. Like I was saying before, you can get more outer head when you go close. You can actually do them wider and get more inner head. So it changes because it is a bicep. It's a two-headed muscle. It hit both heads of the muscle when you're doing any type of curls.
Absolutely.
And then we finished off with our dueling curls.
We can call it the dueling dragons, I guess you could say. We got this FSD7 movement.
Yep.
And what it is an isolation curl with the dumbbell just basically hanging on the inside of your leg and just getting that really good squeeze at the top of the rep. And 7 sets, 15 reps, only resting 30 seconds in between each set. So the way we do it when you're doing 2 arms is you just, one arm goes and then that arm rests when you're done, and then you hit the other one. So you're just, it's a constant set.
Definitely. I mean, I felt the blood just constantly gorge into the muscle, and to do that 7 sets, even with a lighter weight, after a while that weight just feels so heavy because your arms are just exhausted.
Exactly. And then you really, at the end, I really like to really squeeze and flex the muscle, and just really, because all that blood is in there, you're really pushing and squeezing and stretching that muscle sheath, and that's the whole point of the sevens.
Definitely. You know, what's really important is, as a bodybuilder, they forget, you know, the training part is one part of it, then the posing part is another thing. So, you know, constantly practice posing and squeezing that bicep, because that's what's going to happen when you get on that stage to really show off those arms that you've been working on the whole year.
Absolutely, and I think it really helps to bring a more of a three-dimensional look to the body and to the muscles, because you're really, you know, you're just really expanding that sheath and stretching it out, and you get more of that full round look.
That was tough. I'm definitely feeling a good pump in my bicep.
And I like to really squeeze them in between sets, just briefly, and then after it's over, just to really get that peak contraction and really squeeze that bicep, and well, you got all that blood in there. Just really helps stretch it and round out the bicep.
Doing a lot of contractions in between sets is key, and getting more of the shape in the bicep itself. So
really helps to fill it out.
Definitely, that was a great arm workout.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Good.